Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be cooking Mother Gothel's hazelnut soup from my Disney Villains cookbook. What you'll need are hazelnuts, an acorn squash, olive oil, some shallots, green apples, parsnips, fresh thyme, and vegetable stock. So the first thing I did was I roasted some of the hazelnuts just to give them that super nice fall roasted flavor. For copyright reasons, I'm not going to give exact measurements or cooking times. You'll have to buy the cookbook yourself if you want to see the full recipe. And then I am just cutting and hollowing out my acorn squash. This was a little bit of it took a little elbow grease to get this done, but I muscled through nevertheless. And then I just drizzled it with a little bit of olive oil and then put the acorn squash face down on the pan. And then it's going to go into the oven to cook and soften up. Then I started to prep all my vegetables. I diced up the shallots. I really need to improve my knife work. That is one goal of mine, is that I need to get better at properly knowing how to cut different types of vegetables and the proper techniques to cut. But anyway, so I diced up my shallots and then I started to cut up the parsnips. I have never used parsnips or cooked parsnips before, so this was a unique experience for me, and I think I like the taste of them. I think they're what gave the dish kind of a potatoey kind of essence to them, so I'm not really sure. Do you guys like parsnips? Let me know, leave it in the comments below. Then I started to cut up my green apples, and then I just diced these and I saved a couple thin slices on the side for the garnish at the end. Then I pulled the hazelnuts out, and then flash forward a little while. This is me pulling the acorn squash out of the oven. Then I have this big cooking pan, perfect for a soup. Heated the pot up, put some olive oil in there, and added the shallots. Once the shallots had cooked down a little bit, I also added the parsnips as well as the green apples. And then I just kind of stirred that up. Also added some extra hazelnuts in there, stirred it up some more, and just started to let all the vegetables and fruit, I guess, and nuts, a little bit of everything, soften down and start to cook through. After they'd softened a decent bit, I added the vegetable stock into the mix. I got the fat-free one on accident. I don't think it enhanced or took away from the taste, but that is what I used. Oh, sorry if you heard that. That was Max meowing at me to give him attention. Then I added some of the fresh thyme. Just sprinkled some of that in there. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love the fragrance of thyme. It smells so delicious to me. And at the end, I ended up putting a ton of thyme on my cup of soup. Max is saying hi to you guys. Then I started to scoop out all of the acorn squash. I definitely recommend maybe waiting a little bit longer to start your soup, because the acorn squash had not cooled down enough for me to handle them with my hands, and handling it with an oven mitt was a little bit difficult. So you can kind of see me struggling here to get all of the squash out, and it was kind of falling apart on me, but I think I managed to do it pretty well. Then I'm just kind of mixing all that together before starting on the other half of the acorn squash. And then really it kind of just simmers until then. You can let it simmer for however long you want to. I will say that I accidentally had the heat a little too high. I think I lost a little bit too much of the liquidity of the vegetable stock. But that's okay, lesson learned. Next time I'll just keep it on a lower simmer instead of like a higher full-on boil. Then I just mixed it all together real good. I would love to know in the comments what's like the #1 movie or TV food that you would like to make. Like, I don't know what it is about TV food that looks so good, especially cartoon food. But definitely let me know in the comments below what would be like, what's like your ideal, you know, animated food. So I'm just going through with my handheld blender and blending all of this soup up. It did come out a little chunky. I should have put it in like my proper, you know, big blender instead of using the hand blender. But I still think it turned out okay. And then I just started to plate my soup. I love these black bowls. I actually got these at TJ Maxx, like back when we moved into this house. And I love them. They're my favorite soup, pasta, everything bowl. Then I just grabbed a few of the roasted hazelnuts and topped it with those to add a little bit of crunch and that, you know, nice roasted flavor that I personally love so much. Then grabbed a few sprigs of thyme, shredded the leaves off of those, and also added those onto my soup. And then I garnished it with a little bit of a little apple slice. And here is the finished product. I mean, I think it turned out pretty nice. And now it's time to taste test. Okay, so it is all ready to go, and I let it cool for a little bit because it was very hot. The only thing I'm worried about is on the picture in the cookbook, it looks very creamy, and I just don't think my blender had the ability to make it that creamy, so I'm a little bit worried about the consistency, but it smells really good. So I'm gonna go bite with a little bit of almond, or a little bit of hazelnut, a little bit of thyme. It's definitely good. Not what I expected. It tastes kind of like a plain potato soup, but like the hazelnut flavor is there. It's good, but it doesn't wow me. Like, it's not, like, I made a recipe the other day out of a different cookbook and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. We're gonna make this once a week. This is not one of those recipes. It's not bad. Like, it does taste very pleasant, but that's it. It's pleasant. It's not exciting. There's not a huge flavor profile that has layers to it. It's just kind of like, some good soup. You know what I mean? So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and hit that big red subscribe button down below to come hang out with me for the rest of October. I'll be doing some more fall themed, villains themed, Nightmare Before Christmas themed cooking videos. So if you enjoyed this one, you can look forward to those. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!